Hi, I'm Chef Raphael. Welcome to today's video. Today's video, I'm making another lasagna. I've previously made a beef lasagna. Today I'm making a vegetarian one. Spinach and feta. The most distinct flavor or smell is coming from the pesto, and it works very well with the spinach and feta combination. Let's get started and you see how simple it is to make it. Welcome to the channel, and if you're new to the channel, please subscribe so that you're notified whenever I have a new recipe out. I publish new videos every week about cooking and baking, and this channel is all about making you a better home cook or home baker. So this recipe is simple. The main ingredients is the spinach. I have feta. If you don't get feta, you can also use ricotta cheese, a little bit of Parmesan cheese, Gouda, and mozzarella. So this is a blend of which is grated, and this I'll use to sprinkle on top. I'm going to use some pesto. There's this pesto from Barilla, which is really nice. It has a really premium taste to it. It has basil, Parmesan cheese, very nice quality, and the lasagna. Now the lasagna sheets are also from Barilla. One thing I came to discover I tried a lasagna recipe using a different type of pasta, and I came to discover that this one cooks better from raw. I usually cook my lasagna without boiling it, but this one actually cooks better. And when I did my research, I found out that this is one of the very few lasagna sheets or lasagna pasta that actually can cook from raw, the way it has been developed, the way it has been made. So let's start with the spinach. The first thing I need to do with the spinach is cut them into into smaller pieces. I'm going to turn on my pot, and then what I will do is with a little bit of oil and a little bit of salt and pepper, I'm going to wilt them, and then I'm going to add some white sauce to it. The idea when cooking the spinach is to wilt it, basically cook it for about 2 to 3 minutes until it's wilted and soft. So the spinach is cooked, and now I'm going to add a little bit of the white sauce. Now I've actually, on my other lasagna video that I've done, I've shown you how to make the white sauce. So you can refer to the video to see how to make the white sauce. So it's ready. It's basically flour, butter or margarine, and milk. I've also added some black pepper. If you have nutmeg, you can add some nutmeg. It goes very well. So I'm adding just a little bit to make it creamy and tastier. And then to this, I'm going to add the feta cheese. So with the feta cheese, it crumbles easily, so that's all you need to do. Crumble it into the spinach. Now you use about 200 grams of the cheese, or just enough till you're satisfied with the amount in terms of how just eyeball it and see what is enough for you, and then give it a mix. So taste first. So if you need to add some more seasoning, you can. Perfect. We want to layer the lasagna, which is basically layers of the pasta and the and the spinach. It's up to you now to find the balance of how to place the sheets so that they actually fit in your oven-proof dish. So now I'll add a generous amount of the spinach. The reason why we added the white sauce, and I also added the water that came from the spinach. It will actually help cook the pasta when it's in the oven. The idea is to have the pasta fully covered, and then place another layer of the lasagna. Then what I usually do is trim off the edges so that it goes to the corner, like that. What I can do is to add maybe a little bit of the pesto, and then whenever you're opening a new jar, always look out for the pop sound, like that. That's how you know the sauce is fresh. And the other thing, in case this remains, you can always put it in the fridge for use a little bit later. So now I'm going to add a slight amount of pesto. This will add in flavor inside the lasagna. And I'm also going to add a little bit on top when I put the final layer on top. So on top of that, I'm going to add the spinach. Basically make sure that it's fully covered, all the pasta. Now if you don't, in terms of cheese, I've never tried it with something like cheddar cheese. I don't know if it would work. The combination of ricotta cheese or even feta, in my opinion, works well. So I'm not sure if there's any other cheese because it's not something I've tried out. So I just want to tell you, I'm just sharing a recipe of what I've actually literally tried out. So the final layer for the pasta. Now the top one, you really have to cover it from end to end, all the edges. Now finally, the white sauce on top. This really helps in cooking the pasta and also adding flavor. And it's really important for the top layer to be covered, because if it's left exposed, what will happen, it will easily burn because there's no moisture covering it. So this is why you need to add a generous amount on top. Then finally, a layer of cheese. Mozzarella cheese is best when you're doing this, especially the top layer like this. But what I have here is a blend of cheese that was in my fridge that I felt I needed to get to use small pieces. So what I did, I just made a blend of the cheese. And then finally we add drops of pesto. This again will add some flavor, makes it really delicious, and also adds the contrast, especially if you have two types of lasagna. This differentiates it. When you put the green, you know it's the spinach one, especially if you're serving. This usually is a good tip, especially working in a restaurant and you have two types of pasta. So that's it. Now this will cook in the oven for about, say, 30 minutes. It actually depends with the pasta, until the pasta is fully cooked. And you know it's fully cooked when it's not soft, and it's not brittle. And you can see the layers. So even the bottom layer will also cook because of the moisture from the spinach. And let's see how it looks at the end of the baking session. Wow, really, I love the pesto. The pesto is giving it a nice flavor. It took about 25 minutes to actually bake. Don't let it over brown, because again it tends to be a little bit hard. See, I'm using the cutting action. I'm not just sliding the knife. so that it frees from the sides, especially the top layer. And use the cutting action, what I'm doing right now. I'm not sliding the knife, I'm actually cutting into the pasta. And make sure you also cut till the bottom. And then now let's see what we have on the inside. It's nice and creamy on the inside, so it's not dry. It should also not be too wet. You can see that the middle layer of the pasta is here. It smells really delicious, especially because of the pesto. The pesto is really making the difference in the pasta. I love the brown color, it's the cheese, and I can't wait to dig in. Let me know in the comment section how yours stands out. This is a vegetarian option, and you can enjoy it with a side salad or just by itself as it is. And hope you'll enjoy yours. Make sure you follow me on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter for more recipe and ideas. And also, if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel so that you'll get notified whenever I have a new recipe out. And until next time, goodbye.